Hey, this Oman just on here. Real quick, just having some thoughts on this, like um Minnesota and why is it people not, really looking at them as serious contenders? A lot of the different outlets is playing them up like they just gonna be like a one and done in the playoffs and I don't know, man. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess you looking at what Cousins' history of, like his makeup and all the stuff that he done previously, but um you gotta give him credit, like as far as like, winning the most one score games in NFL history, that's gotta count for something. And then the teams that they beat. They beat a lot of people that's vying for playoff positioning. They beat Buffalo, and everybody consider Buffalo to be a Super Bowl contender. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know they they beat the Jets. The Jets was at one point in time like a viable team to make the playoffs as well. They beat the Giants. The Giants is also a well coached team. They got a lot of teams that they beat, and they outlasted a lot of teams. So it's like I'm just curious to see, like why is it that people just, I mean, now if you just gonna say you would like to see uh like a San Francisco versus Dallas or San Francisco versus Philly, I get that. And yeah, that's cool, but Minnesota done, they done proved, like, I mean, you don't just come up on winning 12 games. Like 12 games is a serious accomplishment, even if you gonna say, oh, Cousins is he fluke or he fake or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the dude, he follows up performance after performance, and for for one thing, he's kind of done in his past where he kind of folded in the clutch. He's actually made tremendous plays in the clutch this season. The coach, it seems like he finally got a coach that put their arms around him and like really believe in him. And also it seems like he's grown, as far as like week to week you can see, like, he doesn't get rattled. I mean, he gets a sack a ton, and he still stays, within himself. Like, yeah, he gonna throw a couple of dumb interceptions, from week to week, costly interceptions. But, for some reason he has the wherewithal to come back from it. So um I don't know, just from just looking from a football point of view, Minnesota definitely has as much chance as anybody to win. I think if they get their chance to get a rematch with Dallas and the Eagles, I think both of those games is gonna look a lot different than them games did when they played. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I gotta look on the record, but I think they faced the Cowboys after that emotional win versus Buffalo, if I ain't mistaken. Or it was a game where they had an emotional win, and it was to be expected for them to have a letdown. Like Philly game, it was just a complete non-show, but it was still new concept and new offense. It was relatively early in the season, but I think if they were to play again both of those games, even if you say Philly or Cowboys win, but they're not gonna win in that dominating fashion. I could just see that, right. I know that for a fact, especially with the Cowboys defense kind of like faltering a little bit. I think that game is gonna be a lot closer than some people think. And then depending on where it play in Dallas or Minnesota, and likewise with Philly, that the only team that might just slide them from, and I'm saying slide as far as, they gonna win by 10 points, but I think the game will still kind of be a nip and tuck, and then maybe in the second half, what I'm saying, Minnesota might make a key turnover in San Fran, but I still think that even against San Fran, they still can pose some problems, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have to really pay attention to what they doing on offense. Yeah, they defense is laying down and not really doing a lot, and typically Minnesota's defense usually be a little more stout. With, I guess, Mike Zimmer coach team, that's how it was. But this guy, that they got now is more offensive friendly, and you can see because it's they got the steal with this guy on the screen, and he's starting to get more involved. He's starting to get really some of the plays that Adam Thielen used to get. He's starting to get, and he, they got a lot of mismatches on a just a down and distance from possession wise. They can go. Of course, JJ unstoppable. He gonna really work whoever the number one corner is, and if say they actually slow JJ down, you could still work the middle of the field with Hawkinson and Thielen, right? So Thielen done bumped down to like the third option. Well, nah, Thielen's still second, but depending on the game, if Hawkinson got like a matchup that's sweet, they take advantage of that. And then also they got KJ, and then KJ can make some plays too on the third guy. So, and then you still got Cook coming out the backfield with damn, the other dude with the dreads, uh or Madison or something. I know it's the name start with an M, but they just pose a lot of if you're a creative mind, which is looking like the guy for the guy that's the coach now. He's really like, there's mismatch. Now I know people say, oh yeah, he might just all he do is look at JJ and whatnot. But yeah, hey, that's a good option to look at. But even if people do take him away on a play, he's still cool enough in the pocket to make other plays to other guys. So in my opinion, I think that I've been saying this, and there ain't nothing that I'm just hopping on. I've been saying this for weeks, ever since they made the trade. And then once you started to see how they was going to use him in the offense, and just how the offense is going, is really going to be hard to stop them from scoring. That's why I said that Cowboy game is like, it was a game that happened, but we need to see that again. If the Cowboys could do that to them again, you'll say, okay, yeah, much respect. But I think that if they were to meet up in the first or second round, it'll be a different game totally. And Philly too, you know what I'm saying? I think they gonna come to play with both of them. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Thanks for listening.